Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We want to give Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. We want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace, and blessings to you, Akim, who go out sincerely to teach this truth throughout the four corners of the earth.
That's right, that's right.
I was just watching an old school hit of Apostle Tahar and Apostle Gabar. And they went into some scriptures, and they started out with Isaiah 14. So I went and I read that chapter, and they got into a little bit of Psalms. So I'm just gonna bring out, let the Spirit flow as it will. I got the brother Ashiar Rakah here. I'm the brother Tawab Ash from Great Millstone Northwest, and we're just gonna let the Spirit flow.
That's right, that's right.
This is another dashboard epistle, as I like to call them. Letters to the hopeful elect. And, that's why we out here. We're trying to wake up the elect.
That's right.
All right, this is Isaiah 14:1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And that's going into the Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel. He's not dealing with any of these other nations. And if I'm not mistaken, that cleaving unto the house of Israel, those other nations, we're going to rule over them in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
And so, everything that we tell them to do, they're going to do, and we're going to be in righteousness 100% under the rulership of King David and ultimately Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
That's the Spirit. I just got done doing a sit down about pride being brought low, man. If you read the second chapter of Isaiah, man, it goes into what's going to happen. The plowshares is going to be beat, or swords are going to be beaten to plowshares, meaning that we're gonna have all peace, man.
God.
And pride isn't one departs from his maker, so pride has to be destroyed for us to have peace, man.
That's it.
All right.
That's right.
And it goes into how all the nations are going to seek after the ways of the Heavenly Father, man.
Yeah.
It says in that chapter how they're going to come to the mountain of the Lord, which is Israel, which is the governing body.
That's right.
Okay, and they're going to seek the ways of the Lord.
That's it.
You got it.
Hey, and that's the Spirit too, because this weekend we had a conversation amongst our camp, and we were getting into the kingdom of heaven as well, and how the brother Thaba from our camp brought up a good point, that these other nations besides Esau are fit to serve. They're real docile. They go along with the flow because they're made to be servants. Go ahead and get that far right lane, sir.
Left?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, if you can make it. God. And how they're specifically made for us to rule over them. And right now they're under Esau's rulership, and they fit his kingdom to a T.
Yeah.
You got these Chamorros, man. They love to please the white man, and they got a lot of hatred towards Jake.
Same thing with Jake. They love to please the white man too.
Yeah. Even our own people. Our the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, that our deeds have surpassed those of the wicked. And so even in our servitude of this wicked kingdom, man, we the worst. Because ultimately this is our lesson. Esau's rulership is our lesson. Number one, to teach us a lesson for going off against the Most High.
That's right. By
not following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And number two, it's our lesson on how not to rule the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly. It's to enable us to understand wickedness, so that we can be righteous judges, man.
That's right. Have a full understanding.
Yeah, you gotta have both sides.
Experience.
Good and evil.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's right.
And who's oppressing us? Go ahead and go right. Ammon, which is your so-called Japanese. Moab, which is your so-called look at Jake, which is your so-called Chinese. Ishmael, you so-called Arabs, and ultimately Esau. You so-called white, but you ain't white, you red, because your pigment shows forth through your leprosy, because you have no pigmentation.
Really, it's all the nations are have us under oppression, man.
Yeah, every
because
nation
it tells you in the
earth.
parable of Lazarus, the dogs that lick the wounds, that's these other nations, above us, man.
Yeah.
And it tells you in Deuteronomy, in the curses, that the nations shall get above us very high, and we shall be brought very low.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right. That's the spirit too. Because when I was in Mexico, we went with my girl's pops, and him and his girl went on a little cruise, and they got cut in front of by some Japhites. You know how proud Japheth is. Yeah. They got no manners and no respect, and they think they're entitled.
Yeah.
So they jump in front of him, and he's not really like that. He's a confusion to face Issacharite.
Yeah.
And so he all he wanted to do was grab them little Japhites up and start tossing them. But he's like, I had to stay, calm and deal with it in a way of this and that. And that's the truth, because even these dumb, retarded Japhites, who just follow, have no leadership skills, even they're ruling over us.
Exactly.
They can treat us like that and just jump in front of us in a line and be like, hey man, get out the way.
Let that be us doing it to them.
Exactly.
Everybody, the motherfuckers behind them is gonna be saying something.
That's
Motherfuckers
right.
behind them is
That's
like,
right.
oh, hold on, man, you can't just cut.
Yeah. That's the spirit. Verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Most High, or in that day, Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Right? And that's what we're going through now. The hardest bondage that we went through was in the beginning of this captivity, but we still going through it mentally.
Exactly.
Right? So even though it's not a physical thing, and yes, we do have to go to work, and we do have to physically bust our ass day in and day out for this devil, it's more mental. Fighting against the principalities, the
angels and demons.
The angels and demons, right? And in this kingdom, we're in our captivity, but we're kings in our spirit. So it's hard to endure not being able to live out our kingship.
Revelations 2:9.
God,
I know that works in poverty, but thou art rich.
Oh yes, God.
Because we're rich in spirit, man.
That's right.
And it's not physically manifested yet, but it starts spiritually first. Just like we're spiritually tearing down this kingdom, and then physically it's gonna happen later.
Yeah. And that's the tearing down, the bringing down of strongholds.
Yep.
Right? I'm gonna go into Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Most High and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. And that's what they've done. Right? They have these summit meetings, right, that they get together, and their main focus.
So I say it's Psalms 83. Keep us from being a nation.
Yep.
Keep us from knowing who we are as a people.
Yep. And to keep us under their foot. Right?
Further oppress us.
They go into all these different things while the TV station's there, but then they have secret meetings when they get together and ain't nobody there, and their main focus is to come against number one, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and number two is his chosen people, which is the nation of Israel, which is your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, contrary to what you believe. Because I had this demon Issacharite, I don't even want to call him that, I'm going to call him a Mexican, come up to me this week while I was at work, and I'm sitting there doing paperwork, and he brought me this doctrine about the bride of heaven, right? And then when I tried to tell him the truth about who he is as an Israelite, he said, no, I don't believe that. Right? He didn't even want to accept the fact that he is a future ruler over these nations, because right now, he's not in his right mind. He's a 2/3, and he's fit for destruction.
That's what's that word? A Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, there we go.
Right, and Issachar got that bad. right? He hate anything darker than his color and love anything lighter than his color. You know, if his daughter want to get with a Blanco, with a white boy, he's okay with that. But let her come home with a Mayate or or a Brotha. You know, he gonna be tripping off top.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's part of our bondage here in this place. You know, that we got to deal with is you know, spiritually, the northern and the southern kingdom are starting to come together through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and the truth. But you know, 2/3, they're not gonna come together like that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because we're still under curses, man.
Yeah.
But you know, it's coming to where now the Heavenly Father is reversing the curses off of us and putting them on the rest of these nations, man.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, man. And you can see that in South Africa right now. I'll go left and then take a left at the stop sign. Okay. That's the beautiful thing about it, man. Is like Esau is getting treated how he treated them Hamites, which in South Africa there's actually a lot of Jake. But the way he treated those people in South Africa, he's being treated now, right? They're coming together with these political parties, and they say that no whites are even allowed. You got that gook female from the New York Times talking about hashtag cancel white people, that white people should have to live under the earth, right?
Because they destroyed the damn earth, man.
Yeah. But it's funny because these other nations are even starting to turn their back on Esau. You know what I'm saying? Even their own. Even Russia is tired of what's going on. I just watched the RT thing coming up, and they said, hey, we're fed up. There's nothing with these sanctions that they keep dropping on us. They're starting an economic war, and economic war leads to physical war, which is going to lead up to the World War III, the War of Armageddon, in the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is his judgment.
Yeah, they already started an economic war that, you know, they don't even talk about no more with China, man.
Yeah.
That cyber war shit, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like it's already been going on, man. It's just you know, hey, it's the theater of war, man.
That's right. And it's the Most High's movie in that theater. Everything that happens, we directed not our own steps. He directs our steps. And we are not of ourselves. We are of the Most High.
That's right.
And that goes for these heathens too. He's the one that's moving their steps.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's already written. Everything's already prophesied to go down the way it's supposed to go down, so that the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, to inherit this earth under the rulership of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and King David.
That's right. That's right. Did he not harden Pharaoh's heart?
That's right.
So that the prophecy could serve true.
Yep.
You know, because Pharaoh, he softened and then he hardened his heart again, so that he didn't let the people go.
Yep. So
that he can put all those plagues on them, and that you know, he can ultimately judge them and destroy them, man.
That's right. And that's exactly what he's going to do here. He's going to keep hardening these Edomites' hearts and these other nations, these heathens' hearts, right, to keep coming against us. Because when he comes back, it's prophesied that the apple of the Most High's eye shall still be found in these heathens' hands.
Exactly.
Starting with Esau.
And back to Psalms 83, it says they take crafty counsel against his hidden ones, man. Yeah. And when you look up the hidden ones, it's his treasure, man. And who is the Heavenly Father's treasure, man? Who's the apple of his eye? Yep. Israel, man.
That's right. That's right. Just peculiar treasure, he says.
Exactly.
And hey, man, you know, with that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Hopefully this was edifying. You know, we just wanted to get in on what's going on, the taking down of Esau's kingdom and the raising up of Israel's kingdom, you know, which is the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's kingdom, which is going to rule forever.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.